Hello and welcome to Custom Gamer. My name is Daz and this is the show where we talk about level design while playing cool maps. This is part 7 of Defendville. We're slowly getting there. This map is Outpost 754 by Christiaan Bakker, aka AniCator, who actually has another release that I need to look at some point called Estranged Act 1, which looks pretty cool. I haven't played it so far because it was labelled as a beta and I wanted to wait until the final release, but some of the media I've seen from it looks really cool, so I have to get around to that at some point. Anyway, let's talk about this map, shall we? So this one, I'm just going to be honest, it feels really unfinished. Like the author had a lot of ideas that he wanted to use here, but just didn't have the time to implement them all. I'm guessing real life got a really nice headshot. And they just didn't have the time to give it the love it needed. So, while it feels a little bit futile trying to do a proper analysis of a level like this that's really not finished, I just want to talk more about the kind of some of the ideas in this map, because some of them are really cool. What it feels like he was trying to do here was create almost like a tower defense style map. Mainly with the lanes here, you can see beyond this fence there's kind of this mishmash of buildings and corridors that all these combined soldiers have to navigate through in order to excuse me while I go absolutely batshit insane over the amount of mines in that dispenser there. Yeah, this is another map which takes ages to set everything up if you really want to. There's so much stuff to do here. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, it really feels like the author was going for a tower defense style thing. There's lots of like little lanes which the enemies have to progress through in order to get to the main base here. At least with the main route kind of down there below the map. The main problem I had with this map is that you'd set up all your defenses, and again the player's just kind of guessing here where the combine are going to come from. You can kind of make educated guesses, but there's no real knowing, and then this map tends to just give you the big FU sign when it starts anyway, because combine just pour out of practically every single door, and in most cases generally kind of appear behind you as well, which is a bit of a shame. Again, it just all feeds back into the impression that this map really isn't quite finished, which is unfortunate. So again, here you can see you've got about 400 different mines that you can place. I'm just going to run through them here because I really can't be bothered to place them all. But yeah, this map almost has like a deathmatch map mentality to it as well. It's really bizarre. I really would have been interested to see what the finished thing would have looked like. You can see here there's even some dev textures still left on the environment here, so it's very obvious the author ran out of time here. But yeah, I think the tower defense angle is a really interesting one that no one else really tried to do. I think that could have been really cool, especially if it was more of a zombie style map where you've just got, you know, hundreds and hundreds of zombies and head crabs and everything coming through all these lanes, and you have to set up all these different turrets at different places to take them all out before they reach whatever it is you're defending. I think that could have been really cool. Of course, I get the idea for this now, a couple of weeks late to enter the competition. That would have been something I would have been really interested in making, but I just really didn't think about it at the time. But yeah, so what ends up happening here is you set up all these defenses around the place, just kind of almost scattershot basically, just trying to catch some combined soldiers somewhere, and they end up kind of spawning behind you almost. There isn't really like a dropship that comes down and drops off a whole bunch of combine at the start. They just kind of appear behind most of your defenses, which is a big shame. I don't really feel too comfortable talking about the visuals either, because it's very obvious that again, not a lot of time was spent on them, probably due to time constraints in real life, I'm guessing. But the skybox is relatively nice. I think the fog could have been perhaps matched up a little bit better with what you're seeing. But there's some nice kind of buildings in the distance and stuff like that. It makes it feel like quite a nice area, but the actual map itself could have used obviously just a huge detail pass. It feels like this is the kind of dev textured kind of block-in layout, just retextured with bricks and things like that. There's not really a lot of detail anywhere in the map, unfortunately. So you can see here, these are the combined soldiers which just magically spawn behind all your defences when the map starts. It's a real shame. Most of the other combined soldiers are dropped off by dropships, as you're seeing here, which is very cool. can see there's a couple more dropships coming in here as well. And I think this map really could have done with just having all the focus on the kind of tower defense area, as I'm going to call it, because that seems to be the strongest gameplay aspect of this level, which unfortunately it just wasn't expanded upon. Another thing I do like is that all these headcrab canisters come in and completely destroy all your defensive setup. While I think I'm not really too fond of this happening right at the beginning of the map, I think it could have been something cool that happens near the end when the Combine do, you know, a massive push and all your defenses get taken out and, you know, you're kind of pushed back into the building. I think that could have been really cool. But yeah, as it stands, all the headcrab canisters just kind of come down and knock over your turrets, and it's really no problem to just set them up again. I think if that happened more in line with the special event, it could have had a lot more impact. But you can see here the tower defense element works fairly well. Obviously you'd need some fairly significant layout changes to really make it work, because I think there's way too much kind of open area here where you can just set up all the turrets and just kill everything before it gets close to you. I think a more kind of twisty and turny layout with various kind of blockers that the Combine can hide behind. It's a really interesting idea which I really wish he had time to expand upon. So unfortunately the map kind of suffers a bit here. It doesn't end, but there's still Combine in the map and you have to go and find them. There's a kind of a hidden squad of Combine Elite which managed to get inside the base. I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of event here where, you know, they break into the base and start killing the defense objective, whatever that would have been. And you're kind of told to go inside and deal with it, but unfortunately all that triggering is just kind of missing here. And there's nothing really to tell you to go and look inside. So I'm guessing a lot of players may have just gotten confused here and just stopped playing, thinking the map had stalled or something. I'm going to skip ahead to going indoors, because, yeah. Alright, so coming into the main base, you suddenly get a whole bunch of Combined Elite rappelling down from the ceiling, which is a cool idea, but again it's just not signposted at all to the player, and I'm guessing a lot of the triggering is missing, so it's not really set up as it should be. And unfortunately after all these Combined soldiers die, the map doesn't really end. I'm guessing like this is like the final wave, and after this was meant to be, I don't know, even just something as simple as a fade to black and then a level end or something. But unfortunately nothing really happens. The player's just kind of left to wander around the map afterwards. There's no real kind of text saying that you've defeated the ambush or anything like that. So yeah, there's not really much else to say, unfortunately. The intro of the map's done quite well. You come out into this area. I was talking about a different map at the time, but kind of there's rebels just kind of lounging around the base, leaning up against the walls, kind of chatting to each other. That was a nice little touch. So it's obvious the author did want to spend a lot more time on this, but life is a bitch like that sometimes, unfortunately. So I'm going to call it here, I think. Hopefully AniCator can dedicate some time to Movieville and we can see what he's really capable of. That'd be cool. And I'll see you guys next time.